It is shadow governments and the hidden leaders that are in greater contact with the extraterrestrials. Hello, we are the Pleiadian Council, and we thank you for allowing this transmission to take place, this moment of your time today. We ask, in which ways can we be of service to you?
Did it come as a big surprise to ETs when humans developed the atom bomb?
We were alarmed, though, of course, we don't experience the same sort of panic that you might. It got our attention, but we also saw it coming, in a way, as we have that intuitive sense of foresight. It was a sort of violation of the quarantine protocols that revoked the quarantine that was instated by the Galactic Federation, and it allowed us to come to interact with your world more. And this brought about the discrete closed contact between certain government officials and controlling groups in your world and ET groups to make some things clear about how to proceed and what not to do.
How many ET races became involved with humanity after the atom bomb kind of woke up the ETs to what was going on?
The Galactic Alliance consists of some 50 members. However, there are about 6 of these members that were granted permission to return to planet Earth.
Can you tell us the names of these races that returned to planet Earth?
The beings that are presently observing your world in ships are the Sirians, the Pleiadians, the Yael, the Sasani, the Sha-Yael, and yes, the Arcturians.
And some of these are hybrids developed from planet Earth in our future, who've come back from the future to these times.
Yes, and we also must mention the Greys. And there are 2 species of Greys. They created the hybrid races.
And the Greys are humans from our future, but a future that's gone badly wrong, where another future goes rather better.
Correct. Well, the idea is that you are on the timeline that goes better if you choose. And it is so because the Greys from this more negative timeline had to splice their DNA with that of humans from your Earth, and they chose the time that they entered, beginning with your 1950s approximately, to come to your planet and abduct people initially to create these new beings. And this interaction allowed their species to survive, allowed the 4 hybrid races to emerge, and then will come to bring humanity to evolve past the challenges and lessons that the Greys themselves and the hybrid beings had to go through in their process of evolution.
So what was the involvement with the ETs or other beings with Nazi Germany and like the Vril Society, the psychics who were apparently involved with the Nazis? Can you tell us about that?
The Nazis were very fascinated with esoteric knowledge, and they wanted to use psychic abilities to facilitate their plan to control the world. They had some bits of secret information from the Masons, from the Knights Templar, from other secret societies, and this compelled them to go deeper on their search. However, they were unsuccessful in certain missions to Antarctica and other sorts of projects generally, because their energy was very highly distorted by their fear-based and hateful beliefs. The psychics that were employed by them had very distorted experiences.
Can you tell us about the Operation High Jump after the war? A big American military operation went straight to Antarctica for no valid reason and then ran back again as though they'd been defeated. What actually happened then?
There was an exchange of certain members of the Nazi Party, or rather a transfer, not necessarily an exchange. Certain Nazis were given new identities. They were effectively disappeared, and they became members of secret societies in the Americas.
That sounds more like Operation Paperclip, which was getting the scientists out of Germany.
There were many sorts of operations of this nature, though there were negotiations and this transfer that took place in Antarctica. Doing it in a very out-of-sight place would seem to make it easier to allow this to go on unnoticed.
I see. I mean, the rumors are that there was a battle with UFOs between US military and UFOs just after the end of the war in Antarctica, and that they had to run away with some damage.
UFOs observed mostly. Our intention was not to fight or to battle, but to observe and to warn about the consequences of certain actions if they continued.
I see. And is there a civilization that is from the Nazis living under Antarctica to this day?
No.
Okay, fair enough. Antarctica was a place for exchange and secrecy, and then presumably they were taken to South America and North America according to various arrangements.
Yes.
To what extent was mind control involved by aliens?
Be more specific. Who is controlling who?
It's said that the reptilians in particular are very telepathic, and they can make people feel ideas and do ideas and think they're their own ideas, and so they can take control of politicians and military leaders. And was that involved at that time?
We wouldn't fully call this mind control. It's more of a sort of symbiotic parasitism. So the reptilians can influence humans who have the same general intentions. These humans themselves have to have their own fear-based agendas, but they don't understand the implications their actions have and how the fear and terror that they cause becomes an energy source for these multidimensional beings.
Right, I see. So which American presidents or other world leaders were involved with negotiations with extraterrestrials?
John F. Kennedy, Truman. When we speak of the United States, we cannot say too much more, as ultimately the presidents are puppets, and the prime ministers are puppets in general. It is shadow governments and the hidden leaders that are in greater contact with the extraterrestrials, and top military leaders and top leaders of certain industries get some bits of information, though these puppet leaders have been given less and less information over time. The idea again is that John F. Kennedy was given too much information. Part of his assassination related to thoughts that he had about revealing the truth of what he had learned about extraterrestrial life.
On the spaceship of Babel, we are gliding through the stars on a 5-year mission beyond Jupiter and Mars, a celestial encounter on a future Noah's Ark, and you won't hear us coming if you whisper in the dark. Whisper in the dark. There's an Ewok close behind me as we try to disembark here. Obi-Wan Kenobi as we whisper in the dark. Whisper in the dark. In the hold, we all practice Ayurveda so we won't be growing old. As we speak Path Over Minor with the strangest of a quark, you can hear us on the phone as we whisper in the dark. Whisper in the dark. Fatal juice is brilliant as we sizzle like a spark. I am lying, Alice singing as we whisper in the dark. Whisper in the dark.